What you need, Coach? Welcome to the Straight Card. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Where did Brett go? Oh, crap. There's Brett.
Hey!
All right, he's back. No technical issues.
It wasn't planned either.
Yeah, that was not planned. No. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm here all by myself. Geez, not more of that. But yes, all of you that missed Brett on the last show, that was a technical issue. Brett could not be there. So
24 to 48 hours without internet.
Yeah,
very much intermittent internet.
It wasn't something that, like, Tack said, hey, I'll be on your show, but not if Brett's there. It wasn't that.
Got to keep my mouth shut.
It wasn't like, Tack and I texting back together, hey, let's do this show without Brett. No, that's not what happened. Brett literally fucking, his technology was...
I think he realized that I called him out to you, that he stole our joke about Wolverine with Weston McKinney.
Oh, yeah. That was our joke.
Like,
but
I'm pretty sure you mentioned it, because then I posted it the next day, and me and myself, I'm thinking, that was an original joke. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so.
And then all of a sudden I said it to you. I'm like, hey, he used our joke.
And I said, what?
Our
What
joke?
do you mean? Our joke?
I said it.
And you said, well, if you're doing all the tweets and all that, it's our joke.
I go, if I tweet, we tweet. If I get canceled, right. We get canceled.
So it's our joke. All right, the turd in the background. Hello and welcome to the Straight Red Card, a show well known for amazing internet connections. Hi, Derek. My wife says hi. Hey, I don't know your wife's name. I would say it. Hey to you. Hey. Hello, Turd's wife.
You didn't even get her name, Derek? That's
Mrs. Camerman? I don't know. All right, so...
That's the Turd's mom's name. Thank you very much. No.
All right, well, I did my best. All right, so, there's lots we'll get into the Pulisic thing eventually, but we have to catch up on some stuff, right? There are things we couldn't do last show, and I don't know if we want to take some questions, or we want to do some slides, like the slides we never used that I spent 2 hours making for the last show with Tack, and it didn't work out. So I'll let you pick, Brett. Where do you want to start?
I want to start on something that So yesterday was my birthday.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. And they took
your phone. Your phone didn't tell you that?
No.
My phone told me your birthday.
So they took you to a seafood restaurant for your birthday, and you hate seafood?
No, I heard good things about this place too. And they had other stuff besides seafood, but
I would have got the lobster roll. But I think I texted you, but I'm betting you're going to get the pork tenderloin.
No, you bet that I got the burger.
Oh, I did.
You're probably going to go and get a burger.
But I did then
you know what? I might get a burger just to stick it. Suck it. No, suck it.
But they did have the classic Indiana, fried pork tenderloin.
That's what we're known for, so.
And I did text you that, hey, look at that, pork tenderloin. So happy birthday to Brett, who turns 31.
I'm going to take it because I'm conceited, guys, and I like to, toot my own horn here. So every time I see happy birthday, I'm going to post it up here.
Yeah, well, you know what tooting your own horn is a metaphor for.
Imagine farting?
No.
No, I know.
Yeah. Brett got Verizon for his birthday. That's a good one. Brett needs some Verizon.
Oh, no. Happy birthday to Metronet.
Oh, geez. From Netrovet.
Oh, no, this is to Metronet.
I know. It should say from.
Yeah. This is just going to be the happy birthday to Brett show, guys. An hour and a half of me posting your comments of saying happy birthday to me. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, I'm going to take off.
All right. So, yeah. So the place I went to was called the Boathouse.
Yes.
And, I thought it was called the Boathouse, and that was it. But apparently it's called the Boathouse Kitchen and Swan Dive. So
Meg?
I'm like, well, I gotta take this picture.
You did.
And I sent it to Meg saying, hey, have you been branching outside of soccer coverage to restaurants?
And she had a reply?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right.
She said, yes, and our specialty dish is pizza covered in ranch dressing.
Oh, yuck. Disgusting. But it's funny. It's funny. Good. Well done, Meg.
So I called it, the Weston Delight.
Weston introduced the whole team to ranch dressing in Juventus.
But she also ends up saying that things are going pretty well so far in the city of Turin. Has not yet responded to me opening up a branch there, apparently. So,
yeah, pizza covered in ranch dressing. Unless it's actual ranch dressing you make with the packet and the milk and the mayonnaise, because all that shit that they sell that's pre-bottled, that shit is disgusting. All of it tastes like ass. All of it. Yeah. I mean, except for the oil and vinegar ones. Those you can't fuck that up because oil and vinegar together, they have a natural preservative. But all the creamy sauces, they all have preservatives in them that make them taste like ass. So there you go. Don't get those. Yeah. Make your own ranch.
Technically, Sparkle, it wasn't the day my parents fucked. And they made,
it was 9 months before. It is the celebration of the day that a sperm became a full baby, yes, and was born. So I guess you could just say that. But yeah, it's kind of a gross thought. We were all sperm once. Ooh. All right. In the fluid and all that, swimming up the canal to get to the egg. And we were the fastest of all of the ones that came out, which are literally thousands. We were the fastest of all of the sperms that got, well, anyhow.
I told them all to take a left, and it was actually to the right. So,
yeah, well, that's because all the other ones had some sort of brain malfunction.
Yeah.
So they probably would have turned out really bad. Thank God. All right, Vinco, it's fun to watch Brett giggle like a squirrel girl when Meg is mentioned.
I'm Brett. That's Derek.
Yeah,
Derek that giggles.
How come our names didn't come up today? Oh, there they are. Okay. So, yeah, to clarify, I'm the one that usually giggles about Meg. And I had Meg's awesome. Like, how can you not think Meg's awesome? She's pretty. She's smart. She knows soccer. She talks soccer. All of that shit. Like if I could marry someone, I'm not doing that again, by the way. But if I could have gone back and done it, I would have picked someone who loved soccer. If I could have found him. That would have been hard. Speaking of which, I wanted to say, I've been watching the Burrow podcasts because Hoppy's there now. And of course, Stefan's there too. There's this gal named Dana Malt, like malt the drink. Sure. And she does the Burrow Breakdown podcast. She's probably in her mid-20s at best. But this chick knows what the fuck she's talking about. Like, she broke down Matthew Hoppy's game in detail from Schalke all the way back to the Barcelona academies. And LA, this chick knew everything about Matthew Hoppy. It's almost like a relative had called her and told her all about Matthew Hoppy. All right. All right. What do we want to move on to next? Pete, in one of his amazing independent movies that he did, this is one of the scenes. If you don't know, Pete is an actor. And, that's his other job. I think he does other things, too, to make sure he can pay the bills. Because acting is it fluctuates. You get a job, you don't get that part. You get that part, you don't get that part. It's
Yeah.
She's not 20-year-old. Is she 20?
You said mid-20s.
Oh, Dana Malt. I don't have a crush on her. I just I think it's awesome because you don't see enough women on podcasts doing soccer podcasts. And here's a chick that not only does one, but knows what the fuck she's talking about, like deep shit. Like, I don't know. Anyhow, this is Pete, and this is a scene from one of Pete's movies, I'm guessing.
Derek Rubin says your blow-up doll is getting jealous. Stop talking about the English.
I have not ordered the blow-up doll yet, guys.
English.
I will order it right before the World Cup.
Make sure. No, I was going to say make sure it's a girl, but you mean you do you, of course.
No, it'll be a girl. probably blonde, somewhere around there. So what is this with Pete? That's definitely Pete. And that's definitely one of his movies.
Yep, USMNT burner account here says, I'm sorry, and they post that.
Okay.
Oh, it's training day, Pete.
Yeah. He's got his arms folded. He's like, I'm going to kick somebody's ass.
I don't know. I saw a video clip that had Pete in it, so I was like, I can't pull that up.
Jeez.
That's got to be good.
Gotta be. I've never seen one of his movies.
I didn't. I don't know. I guess I probably should look. Maybe I imagine he's got to have an IMDb page.
Well, yeah, he does, but you got to know his real last name, which I am not giving out here, but most people probably already know.
He runs a burner name? Nice.
Well, I can tell you Pete Doubt it's not his real name.
Oh, that's good.
Doubt it? Have you ever met anyone named Doubt it? Please.
All right. Let's watch Pete.
Yeah, I got something.
What you got?
What about the only other guy in town who's committed a murder?
What the fuck? That is well fucking done. Well fucking done. USMNT.
Oh,
I got something.
What is it,
What you
Pete?
got?
What do you got?
What about the only other guy in town who's committed a murder?
Like, what's this movie where there are only two guys in the whole town that have committed murder? Seriously, think about
There's
that.
only been one guy that's committed a murder.
I know, and there's the other guy. There's two
Who
guys.
hasn't committed a murder.
Where is he? Is he in Martinsville? I mean, even if you're in Martinsville, there's probably more than two murderers in the whole town. Some podunk town. So I don't know what that was. I got to figure out where that's from. Maybe Pete will, respond to that and tell us what movie that was or whatever TV show it is.
Pete's actually posted this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let me jump back here real quick. It says, while USMT was losing to Canada and Hamilton, I was filming this episode of American Detective and checking my phone between takes. It was rough.
What?
You can see it on Amazon. You can see it on Prime. You can see it on Hulu and Discovery Plus. Look at that.
Hey, sweet ass.
Season 3, Episode 7.
God damn, he is going to be famous, maybe. We'll see. He's doing well for soccer shit, but what if he makes it in movies too? I bet you he stops doing the soccer show if he gets big movie parts. He's not gonna have time for that shit. He will between the movies.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It's really it's weird.
You'd really have to isolate what he watches and stuff like that. I also watch one game this week. Now, let's say if Juve picks up Pulisic, Weah goes to Valencia. All of a sudden, we're starting to see like 2, 3, 4 teams that have like 2 Yanks on it. Watching Yanks abroad matches are getting easier.
It's gonna be easier if they all were on the same team. That would be fantastic. It's
one game. Let's go, guys.
Fulham. Everyone play for Fulham, please.
Yeah, Fulham. So there would be 4 teams that have at least 2 Yanks or more.
Yeah, Fulham, Borough.
Yeah. Borough. I didn't even think about Borough too. So 5.
Yeah, Leeds.
Would have been Juve and then Valencia if that were the case. If it works out the way that they were.
It's not. And we'll get into Pulisic later. Pulisic's not going to Juve. I seriously doubt that. I mean, the rumors haven't been that strong. So
they've been there for like a year and a half. But then again, to our point, whenever we talk about the silly season, we're always talking about how like the big clubs are always keeping an eye on everybody. There's like, I'm sure they are interested, but how interested are they?
Yeah.
So like, Pulisic to insert random top team in each league here.
I can't even figure out how interested Man United really are in Dest and in Pulisic. I mean, to me, they've been poking around. They're on the pot. They've been sitting on the pot, but they haven't taken a shit yet.
There it is. Let me beam to it.
Is the other guy in the small town who murdered people?
Somebody's got to make that video. Come on, let's make this lore. It has to be a thing. Come on, guys.
That's a really good one, Ruben.
USMNT burner. Get on that.
You think this guy's name is Ruben Cox or Ruben Cox? I think it's Ruben.
I think it's Ruben, yes.
Yeah.
But
I just wondered if he was
for the
trying
sake
to
of our video, I think it's Ruben too.
I thought maybe he was trying to make a funny,
He might be. Who knows?
like catching us, saying the wrong words.
Oh, good Lord.
Ruben's that's a solid name. Gigolo Bro 09.
Is he?
Soccer OG is an
Is he in the movie as a soccer commentator?
Max Bredos? I mean, was a very good. I'm not saying he's not good looking now. I'm just saying he's older now and he's put on some weight, kind of like all of us do. So he's not quite the stud that he was in his 20s and 30s. Max Bretos was a good looking man in his 30s and 20s.
So Gigolo Bro, was he a soccer commentator in a movie? I'm thinking maybe he must have been.
I don't know. I've never seen him in any movie.
I don't know. Let's see in the chat, but we'll move on, guys.
All right.
We have to cover the questions from Monday's show on Twitter.
All right. But we're going to do it in super fast speed.
I had talked about possibly doing it as a video, but here we are Thursday, and if we wait any longer, it's just going to become obsolete.
Yep. So let's make it quick. Make it quick and snappy. Okay.
Can you read this? Can you bigger?
Yep. No, that's what she said. McKenny is back. Not a question, just a statement of relief.
Yes.
Me too. I felt relief. I'm with you.
Can't wait to continue watching Juve games and being happy that he's on the pitch.
I loved it. I mean, he didn't play the greatest, but I mean, geez, he just got back. Looking forward to PSV and Rangers, says Sam Cutts. Hopefully, Ledesma makes a Weskin-esque recovery in place. I don't know about that. I mean, I hope he does, but it doesn't seem like that's his MO.
Well, Ledesma's been playing for PSV, like 30 minutes here, 5 minutes there.
He just got injured.
Oh, did he get injured again?
Yes, again.
Fuck.
Yeah, he started and he got injured. He started and played 38 minutes. I don't know. It looked like he broke his leg. I mean, it looked horrible. The guy, I think, got a straight red for the tackle. It's like, what does he have? Like a fucking glowing red thing on his head? Or just like, fuck me up, make me injured? Because Richie Ledesma is like the worst luck in history. So, poor guy.
He's enduring the Stu Holden treatment, huh?
Apparently, I did not see, but somebody wrote me and told me about the tackle.
Here we go. So. People says horrible tackle, horror tackle. It was in fact a straight red.
Yes, it was.
Glad we can make our impact, guys.
I think I had like 4 people. 4 people tell me it was a horrible tackle. I believe them. So I did. I got a couple texts on that one. Yeah.
So okay, the Weskin-esque recovery makes sense now.
Yeah. All right. So no Wolverine. I doubt for him. Based on that tackle. If I ever see Tack in person, we throwing fisticuffs for his opinions on Whataburger. I didn't know he had an opinion on Whataburger.
Come on, put him up.
Come on, put him up. Put your dukes up. Come on. All right. Well.
Yeah, he mentioned that in the chat too. During on the show that I could not partake in.
I've never been to Whataburger, so I have no idea.
Son of a bitch.
Dude came in like a wrecking ball.
I assume that was a what's her face? Miley Cyrus reference there.
Oh, really?
Dude came in like a wrecking ball. Something like that. Fuck if I know. I don't listen to that.
I don't know. I don't listen to that.
But it was everywhere. It was a meme all the time. Anytime something happens, it would just be a meme of her coming in like a on that wrecking ball.
Yeah. Motts.
Yeah, he says. Jasper says. Tack thinks Whataburger sucks.
Maybe he just doesn't like burgers. I
don't have a Whataburger here, so I don't know.
We don't. Indiana does not have those. Motts Turbator. Thank you.
It was a reference, and he got me singing it. Okay,
I don't know. Motts Turbator. Motts Turbator. All right, Desi.
You are a master at it. I agree. Genetically speaking here. Good job.
GGG likes to play Captain Roulette a lot. But come Qatar, who do you think he picks for the captaincy? I don't think it'll be game by game like World Cup qualifying. What is your favorite U.S. men's? Well, let's start with that one.
Real question by Mitch.
I'm honest with you. I think it's going to probably be Zimmerman.
As far as captain?
Captain.
I'm going Adams.
I don't think he's not been allowed to be captain. It's always Pulisic or somebody else.
No, Adams, Pulisic, and I think maybe Zimmerman have rotated around for the last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Adams.
Okay.
I mean, Zimmerman would be an obvious one because he's likely to play almost every goddamn game.
I'd say McKenny because I think he's the heart and soul of the team. But I think he's too nice to the opposition most.
Yeah, and I mean, he's always laughing with the referees. He's got to be on it's just, hey man, that was a fucking foul. Get it next time,
All right. So I'm not sure if he would be the guy we want because he's such a nice guy.
We got an Adams.
Adams is the natural, Adams. Definitely.
And then we got a Rolled On.
I'm not even laughing at Rolled On jokes anymore.
Captain of the locker room, apparently.
What is your favorite?
He's always in the locker room whipping them with towels. Yeah, it was a good half. Good half.
Oh, he whips them with his tongue. He tongue lathers them. Oh, you're playing so good. That's your style. He's such a good teammate. What is your favorite U.S. men's national team conspiracy theory that may be true? I personally love the dog kick.
Yep.
And the mutiny against Klinsmann. That's not the mutiny against Klinsmann is not a conspiracy.
It wasn't. Yeah.
It happened. Yes. Ask Brian Strauss.
Who was it? Was it Boca? Boca lost his job?
Yep. Boca was told in front of the whole team he was no longer the captain. That's how he found out that he was no longer the captain.
That wasn't a conspiracy by any means.
And that he wasn't starting and he was no longer the captain in front of the whole fucking team. Like Klinsmann is a ruthless motherfucker. And that was, some people say, because he was the voice expressing issues with, amongst others, publicly, although they were, their names were never known, but in Brian Strauss's article about the mutiny.
Klinsmann comes in, he's like, Boca, you literally screamed that out in the locker room 24 hours before that article came out. Clearly, it was you.
Yeah.
You lost your captaincy. It's not going to happen anymore. The dog kicking one's a favorite of mine, just simply because how much like wildfire it just took off.
The only reason I don't like it is because I love dogs.
No, I love dogs too, but it's just the humor behind it. No dogs were harmed in this conspiracy, Derek.
I know. I always worry about that though. Kicking dogs is not funny.
Here you go. You got somebody on your side.
I just do. I think it's going to be Zimmerman. I think that's how Gregg thinks. So that's just me.
Well, and I mentioned earlier that Zimmerman's likely to play every goddamn game, but then again, so is Adams probably. I mean, who else is going to play at 6?
The only way Pulisic is the captain is if Gregg feels so bad about not making him captain that he makes him captain, because he's not like a leader guy, Pulisic. I don't think. He doesn't come off as one at all. He comes off as a very shy guy, not the kind of guy that's going to get up and give a speech before a game.
Okay, I'll say maybe lead by example in the sense that Meg always talked about how he was like the first one out on the field, and you can see it in his eyes. He wants it. He's very motivated to be successful. But I don't know if that's necessarily what you want in a captaincy there. You want somebody who's vocal, somebody who's encouraging, somebody who's pushing, and somebody calling out shit if it comes up,
Well, and the other reason I would say either Adams or Zimmerman first is because they have a better sense of what's going on the field.
Yeah, that's very true.
So they can help the team in its shape and its form. So, all right, next one. We're supposed to be buzzing through these.
Yeah.
Since Tact is going the show, here's my thoughts on Brandon Vasquez. He needs a look in September camp. He'll probably get one because he's scoring.
Well, and I know Tact, and I think even Pete are adamant. I think it's mainly Tact though. Is adamant that Berhalter's not going to mix it up, and they're going to be focusing primarily on building chemistry. So he doesn't think Vasquez will be included here.
No, he will be because Gregg's been on his nuts and calling him. I'm telling you, Vasquez.
No, I agree 100%. I agree with you on that. Yeah.
Vasquez even said he got a call from Gregg. So I don't think it's too late for Vasquez this cycle. Well, they always are going to bring one guy, right? Like one guy you never saw, the Hercules Gomez that makes
Green never played for the United States until the World Cup, right? He didn't play for us, did he?
Yeah. Who?
Green.
No,
I think Klinsmann. I think his first call was in the World Cup.
Yeah. So I mean, a manager will always bring one guy who's hot. He might not start, but let's say Pifok plays game 1 and it's kind of and then Ferreira plays game 2 and he's kind of Then you bring in Vasquez with 20 minutes left and you need a goal. He's got a head. He's a good header. He's a good finisher. Pifok's good at that too. But we'll see. I think Vasquez might, because everybody's playing so shitty right now. And by the way, Sargent finally scored for Norwich. So he's going to have.
Could have easily had another 2 in that game.
At least he should have had 3 goals.
I will say, man, actually playing at the 9 and with a second striker. They didn't play a solo striker by any means in that sense. And it wasn't a 4-3-3 or anything like that. They played a formation that played 2 strikers, and he excelled. He did great. And then he got subbed off in like the 60-some-odd minute because apparently he was holding his calf a little bit or whatever.
No, well, the coach said after the game it wasn't serious or anything like that.
But he's just recovering from it. He didn't want to change it.
He said that Josh hadn't played more than 70 minutes for over 6 months.
Sure.
He's not ready for it.
Absolutely. So. Oh, and Haji's scoring too.
Haji scoring.
But unfortunately, Berhalter's the only player Berhalter threw under the bus.
Was Haji.
So I don't see him getting called up in September, regardless of how well he's scoring.
He threw Sargent under the bus too, because at least Sargent started almost every game in the Premier League when he was healthy for Norwich. So he got thrown under the bus too.
Well, he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything regarding Sargent in that sense. But
by
not calling him in, I think is basically saying I don't rate you that high.
No, I mean Berhalter said, I don't know if he is a 9 or a winger. I think that's offensive to say that. You know exactly what he is, Gregg.
Yeah, especially a player who's played nothing but the 9 his entire life up until recently. Now, mind you,
up until Werder Bremen.
we made. I mean, other people have made the argument too, but we've made the argument that maybe he does need to venture out and do a different position in the 9 if he doesn't grow his balls back. But who knows? After this last performance, maybe he has grown his balls back. I mentioned it the opening weekend. I thought there were a couple plays where I was like, hey, you know what? He's actually taking chances and he's trying. Maybe he's starting to grow them back.
He definitely got greedy in this game.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes he probably shouldn't have, but, I'm happy to see it.
I didn't care. I'm like, okay.
I'm happy to see it, yeah.
I need to see this. It's like he'd watched our show or something and was like, all right, I'm even made fun of because I don't have a big pair of balls and I'm not greedy enough. Now I'm going to be greedy. And he went out there and did it. I think that was great. All right, who's next?
Real quick,
a lot of Vasquez talk.
Well, it's all in the same thread.
Yep. A lot of Vasquez.
Why should you look over similar styles? How'd you right? Yeah, we talked about all these. Sorry, Southern gentlemen, we kind of talked over you here.
Yeah.
Real quick, we did have one. I don't want to miss the super chat.
Tony Masters should be a professional fishing dude.
It's a big fish.
Yep. The World Series of Fishing or whatever it's called. Are you guys 100% confident with our coach GGG?
No.
Oh, shit, no.
No.
No, I'm about, right now, I think he's learned a lot. So I'm giving him about 75%. I'll give him 75.
I think it simply takes him too long to learn. Certain players got relieved of their duties way too late into the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Some players weren't looked at enough. And then some players had like less than a half, like the whole Scally, even Haji right to that point. Because he was hot at the very beginning of the season and he got hot at the end of the season. But I mean, if we're struggling at the 9, why are we trying other people? Because obviously our 9s at the time weren't getting it done.
Well, I think he just had to stay with somebody he was comfortable with, and that was Ferreira at the end, because Pepe was, obviously not going to work and wasn't working. So not for the national team, but at Augsburg wasn't playing, and he'd been playing soccer straight for like a year.
Come back, yeah, exactly. And Tony, I mean,
I'm sorry.
Just answer your question again. We don't feel 100% by any means.
No.
I think he's going to get most of it right.
Yeah.
And then the tactics are what they are. We already know exactly how we're going to play in the World Cup, so we just look forward to hoping that our players play well.
He's gone from like a 30% to a 75. So, I mean, that shows me he's learned. He's gotten better at picking rosters. He's gotten better at playing the starting 11, at not playing Roldan and not calling up Leggett, et cetera, et cetera. So please pronounce it like Vasquez, not Vasquez. Who said Vasquez?
Could have been me. Might have been you. Who knows?
No, I would say Vasquez. I guess Vasquez? I don't know. Anyhow, I'll fix it, I think, but I can't make any promises because I will forget.
It was 69 for Gregg. Haji's overrated.
I don't know.
I don't know. We haven't seen him. How can we tell if he's overrated? He's scoring goals.
We got to watch him play on pig slop, and outside of that, I've only
arguably the shittiest field we played on during the Berhalter era, and that's including the winter palooza of Minnesota or whatever.
I mean, all I can go off is he's playing in Taliaspor. So,
I mean, he's scoring goals. I mean, he might be overrated. Who knows? But
hard to say.
But people will make the argument saying that Pepe's overrated.
People said Pefok's overrated. Yeah. He's playing for fucking Union Berlin and scoring goals.
I guess I can't really. I mean, I can only go off of his youth performances and where he's at in his club, and he's performing at his club. He did well in his youth, and
I would just ask who's overhyped him, because I don't really hear a lot of talk about Haji Wright.
I think there's a lot of people in our neck of the woods that are simply saying that we want to see more of Haji Wright.
I think maybe, there are those people, but
that's fine to say. We haven't seen him though.
As far as mainstream press, like ESPN FC or whomever, Lexi Lawless, Haji Wright barely comes up in the conversation. Mm-hmm. So, next, you got to start. We're 30 minutes in.
Yeah, we're moving.
The way that Chelsea front three played yesterday, I can see Pulisic starting the next game. Well, I could too if I were me. I were Tuchel. If they do move, where would you guys want Des and Pulisic to go? So that's later in the show.
That's the topic. Yep.
We're going to get to it.
Texas can't wait. Here we go.
Can't wait for what?
For the show.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Thanks, Zach. I thought he was saying, hey, get the show on the road here. All right. Is that it?
No, wrong one right here.
Colin Cowherd, here's some indie soccer content tonight for you, Colin. Hope you fall in love with soccer like we have. Then you will be the indie band guy at mainstream Fox ESPN.
I think it meant to say indie bad guy.
At mainstream Fox ESPN that can get all the World Cup ratings. Ha ha ha. I really don't have a lot against Colin Cowherd. He tries really hard with his interviews that he does about soccer with Lawless, and he really tries to think about it and be the best he can, but he fully admits he doesn't know shit about soccer the way others do. So I think Colin Cowherd's he's kind of annoying to look at, but I don't know. His show's fun.
No, I think he's perfectly fine, middle of the road, just interviewer. I mean, as far as soccer's concerned, he obviously there's sports that he knows a lot more of. That's going to be different. But as far as talking soccer, his point is the mainstream, in that sense, literal the mainstream, and you're going to ask questions. Basic questions, and you're going to hope that the person that you have there, whether it's Berhalter, whether it's Stu Holden or whatever, answers them. I think that got brought back up though, because before this obviously was the Stu Holden where they talked about the toxic base in U.S. men's national team's fan base.
Yeah, that's overrated.
Whatever. We've talked about that ad nauseum.
Yeah, exactly.
Wes Phillips says, "New phone, who this?" And I go, only the highest quality of bottom shelf U.S. men's national team content creators this side of the Mississippi and north of Kentucky. Maybe you heard of us? We got a Destin Man U, good, bad, bullshit. McKinney makes this angry vet a happy vet. Yes. I mean, Des is still pushing to stay at Barcelona. So that's last I heard, at least.
I think so.
I don't think Man U is going to be an option.
Dude, he didn't even make the bench in the last game.
I don't disagree with you. I'm saying he's pushing, and he may be rejecting them on that end too. Maybe he's hoping. I don't know. I don't know enough about that.
If I were Des, I'd just get the fuck out of Barcelona. Period.
I agree.
I'd get away from,
especially with all the drama that's circling around it. So fuck it, get out.
I mean, well, you're not going to get less drama at Man U, but you might get to play more, and you won't have this fucking prick Xavi up your asshole constantly in the press giving you props, then saying you're not ready, then giving you props. I mean, he's blowing you, and the next day he's punching you in the face. It's not good.
I agree. He needs to get out, but I don't know if. I wouldn't mind Man U either. But I'm just saying. That he, in the most recent reports, at least that I've seen, he's still hoping to stay at Barca. So who knows?
Yeah, not going to happen. Does Weston have superhuman healing powers? Yes, we refer to that.
He must.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Skipping the show. Can't take the constant lack of soccer knowledge. I learned soccer in the greatest country for soccer development, Italy. Sorry. Not sorry, Tack, but 2006 is more recent than 2002. Oh, good God. Man, we got some really ball hurt people out there. God, just because we didn't come on your soccer show doesn't make us horrible people.
I still stand firm that that's a troll account.
You think?
I don't think it's a burner account. I think it's a troll account. Thoughts on the handshake heard around the world yesterday? Bizarre.
Who would win the boxing match?
Yeah.
Tuchel versus Conte? Tuchel. He's got the reach, probably. But if it got to the ground, Conte might fuck him up.
Well, it's not. It won't go to the ground in a boxing match, so you got to go with Tuchel, I guess.
Well, I was just saying, if it became like a
MMA,
UFC,
maybe?
if it was an MMA UFC thing, Conte wins. If it's boxing, Tuchel's got the reach. I think he beats Conte.
Yeah.
Although I bet you Conte can take a punch.
As far as the handshake heard around the world, I mean, that was a pretty silly thing.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Whatever.
I was watching it live with my parents. They were like, "What the fuck's going on?"
You let go. No, you let go.
Yeah, they're like, well, I've never seen this before. I'm like, yeah, it's happened before.
Jose, we've already talked about. We just talked about best Man U. He's his favorite player, but Man U can suck. Wait, hold on. But Man U can suck my red devil.
I don't know, dude. If it's that red, you might want to take that in to be looked at. Just some idea, their thoughts there.
Take a day or two off, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, or get better fucking Vaseline. It must be collaboration week for the U.S. men's national team YouTubers. Tack on TSRC tonight, and apparently Sam from Yak Report is co-hosting Best Soccer Show tomorrow. What do we? Hey, come on, Sam! You didn't give us a shout out on the show. I was really disappointed.
So I threw up Spies Like Us or whatever, and Doctor.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's not something we planned. It's just something really, honestly, we do way off the cuff. We're like, yeah, let's just have fucking fun.
And in fact, Tack technically invited himself on the show the previous Monday. Get me on the show for this. I'm like, sold, Tack. We don't need to.
Yeah, you can come on whenever you want.
Anything you want, man. Yeah. All right, Spencer James says, after watching Weston McFadden play today, I beg that Gregg calls in Paul McCall, Roldan over ranch-loving shit. All Weston can do is run fast. Paul McCall and Roldan can press, can pass, can shoot, can head balls, and actually have good technical ability.
Spencer James needs to get a room with Fred Baker, and they can whack each other off.
I really think that they're both troll accounts at this point. Is he fast or can he run fast? That's a great point.
Fred and Spencer sitting in a tree. Kissing. All right.
Last one.
Simon Walker just stopping by to say it's called football and you Yanks know nothing about the beautiful game. Shut up, Simon, you dick face.
Is that Simon? No.
Kindly take you 5-0 defeat to the creators of football. Oh, I hope this has got to be a troll because he does say Simon Walker GB, which usually means
look at that. 1 following and 0 followers.
Yeah, it's a troll.
Yeah.
No one's that dumb.
Keep posting though.
Yeah. By the way, yeah. I mean, this whole thing about Americans don't know soccer. That's just ridiculous. And technically, I'm just not 100% American. I am now. I guess I'm a citizen. But, it's the German side.
Not sure where this came from.
Freddie Got Fingered. I have never watched that movie.
Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
I never watched it. I mean, maybe I should have. I heard it's funny, but never watched it.
What's his first name? What Green?
It sounded gross. The movie sounded gross. So.
It's not. It's not that. I mean, there's some gross moments, sure.
But does he get fingered in the movie?
No. As far as I recall, no.
Okay, then why?
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Why did they call it Freddie Got Fingered?
I don't know. I have to go back and
or maybe they mean the other kind of finger, like he pointed his finger at me, like you're the idiot, Freddie got fingered that way.
What the fuck is the main character's name? It's something Green. He was
Freddie.
He was on MTV.
I don't know. I never watched the movie. Brian DeMarco, Daddy, would you like sausage?
Yeah,
I like sausage on pizza. A lot. Otherwise, no, not really.
Oh, there we go. It's a plot line that was cut from the movie. Tom Green. That's who it was. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Gigolo. Thanks, everybody else. Jeffrey, Samuel, you guys all got my back on that one.
What the fuck? Tom Green, did he disappear somewhere? Is he still alive?
His shtick ran out, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like that other guy, Pauly Shore. His shtick ran out too.
But that was a different decade, though.
Yeah. Tom Green got a longer run, didn't he? Or was it Pauly Shore? Who had the longer run?
Pauly Shore had a lot more movies, though, man.
Yeah. I thought he did one a few years ago about being a failed, washed-up
documentary then, huh?
comedian. It is, yeah. And supposedly he was really good in it, being himself, playing himself as a washed-up, comedian. He's fine. His parents his mom owns the Laugh Factory or whatever the fuck it's called in California. He's fine. She's rich. Rich bitch. All right, let's move on. Oh, by the way, speaking of vaginas, I did see that one of the sponsors running commercials on our show before we start is Vag-Aro.
It's Vag-Aro.
Vag-Aro, I believe. Vag-Aro. And by the way, they sell it's a website where you can get your next salon, spa, or fitness professional. They'll locate one for you so you can get your vag rubbed.
It is in the wellness industry.
That's just the worst name I've ever heard for a company. Is it Vag-Aro or Vag-Aro? Vag-Aro.
Well, it's California based, so I mean, if it was Italian based, I'd go with the.
What the hell does it? What does it have to be? I know it's in California, so that's helping me pronounce this. How does that help me? Was that a clue?
We know it's not pronounced Vag-Aro.
It's not located. It's not located in Mississippi somewhere. Vag-Aro, or Martinsville, Indiana. All right. No offense, Martinsville. I'm not driving through your town anytime soon, so I don't really care. You're gonna have to find out where I live. All right. Where are we moving next? Want to do those slides?
Jesse Marsch.
Okay, but we did all those. I made those slides for 2 hours, and we're
I
going
got them all up. Do you not see my tabs?
Oh no, I can't. They're like tiny.
They extend for fucking ever.
It's like looking at a salamander's dick. It's very tiny. All right. So here we go. Adam Wiggins. Do you guys see the Jesse Marsch interview on ESPN FC today? What do you make of his comments about Tyler Adams struggling there mentally and not being able to express himself? Some very cryptic sounding comments. I wouldn't worry about it too much, Adam, but do we have the comments? I think Jesse Marsch loves him some Adams.
Oh, I mean, he paid the money to bring him over, sure.
Yeah. So let's
just see what he says here.
We haven't listened to Jesse's answer. We only listened to the question. So that's how we found this part. Go ahead.
Player that you brought in this summer is Tyler Adams. But when he spoke to us earlier, he said that before he joined Leeds, he had a very forthright conversation with you, more so about his form last season at Leipzig. How did that all go for you?
I've always believed in him, always. But I've also known that he's had challenges, big challenges. And it's not just about playing or not. It's about how an environment works and how people interact. And there's some environments that bring out the best in people, and there's some environments that bring out the worst in people. And without going too in depth into Leipzig, it's not the easiest place, I think, to live as a free person, as a person who wants to express himself within a team environment. That was always a bit of a challenge. And so I think it wore on Tyler. And I knew that, and I saw that. And I challenged him while I was there to change, and I challenged him to be a leader. But I think maybe the challenge was, given the situation, difficult, too difficult for a man of his age and what he had already been through to carry out.
What about your hopes for the?
Okay, so he's just basically saying this. Let me translate that. Tyler Adams played with a bunch of fucking Germans who had no sense of humor and were focused on one thing, playing soccer and winning.
Basketball. Must shoot.
Yeah. And Tyler Adams wanted to make friends and do funny things and have a good time. And they're like, no, this fucking shit is serious.
Do you remember the video that he had posted out on Leipzig's channel where he was walking around handing out the FIFA game cards for each player? And he would talk about their stats, and he's like, yeah, look at that. He's got like a 40 on passing. got to work on that, bro. And he cracking jokes and stuff like that. And some of them were laughing, some of them were like, funny, man.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I'm sure the Austrian guy laughed and the Swiss guy on the team laughed if there was one of those guys. But the Germans, not notorious for their sense of humor. Like Dave Chappelle ain't touring Germany anytime soon. That's just not.
You make fun of my passing ability. What about yours?
Yeah, and I am half German, so I'm allowed to say those things about my own people. All right. Now, I'm sure there are Germans with really good senses of humor. They're probably on the Austrian border, but not a lot of them do. Like, my grandfather was not a big chuckler and laugher. It wasn't his thing. Like, my personality is definitely different than my grandfather's, although we have the exact same hands. Like, exact same hands. Yes.
I see the correlation between humor and hands.
No, we have physical traits. Like I look a lot like my grandfather.
Sure.
So not my dad as much or my mom, but my grandfather. Like it freaks my mother out. Like we're playing cards and I'm shuffling out the cards. We're playing rummy or so she's like, "Oh my God, your hands are so much like my father's." And I'm like,
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure. Your grandfather's time at Germany at the time period was probably a little less fun than say your time here in America at the time when you were younger. So
that's true. He did fight through a war.
so, flat out say, I mean that probably hardened him up a little bit there, man.
Yes, I'm sure it did. Not a lot of joking and jolly times during World War II. Not good times. All right. What do we got next?
Let's get into your slides because
you're the slides.
You were awfully butthurt about us not playing the slides earlier, so let's just do it. Make you happy.
So these were the things I was going to go over with Tack on the show with Brett, and of course Brett couldn't make the show, so he couldn't actually put the slides up. I mean, he was there, you were there
barely.
Barely. You're barely holding on for dear life.
I got booted like 8 times.
Yes. But I did ask some of these questions. Jesse, Aronson, and Adams look like they will keep Leeds up this season. I'd agree with that. I think they're going to stay up. I think they're going to be like, I don't know, 14th, 12th, 13th, somewhere around there. I don't think they're going to get trounced, but it's going to be a battle for a while.
Sure. I mean, they're definitely going to get – I think they're going to get enough wins to stay up. I just think that that Marsch will have to figure out how to do a little bit of rotation in there.
He's going to have to because as the season goes on, they're going to be fucking – they're going to be tired.
What are we going to do for practice today, Coach? You're going to take an ice bath again.
Yeah. Here's what I would suggest. When playing Man City and I don't know whom else, when you're going to lose that Man City game anyhow, let's not play a high press that game. Let's sit back and rest our legs.
Or give some of your key players – like an Aronson, a Harrison, etc. I mean, you can throw Adams, although Adams doesn't necessarily. I mean, he does cover enough ground. I'll take that back right now. But start giving some of them a break in certain games.
I think that we will see some rotation because Sinisterra is a really good player. So I think he's specifically a left winger though. So that's more on Harrison's side. But there are other people that can play the position Aronson plays. I'm
sure Harrison can flip over to the right if he needs to be.
I just think occasionally play these guys 60 minutes, 65, 70, and take them out. Let them. You got to give them a break at some point. You got to have some trust. I would actually look at more on some games, certain games, or even just periodically, just say start the other guy, let Aronson sit on the bench, and then throw him in for the last 20 minutes. Just to kind of give him his legs a bit of a break. Rotate him. Yes. Yeah. He's gonna have to learn to do that, or else this is gonna be a really long season for some of these guys. I mean, you can't play Roca and Adams, 80, 90 minutes game after game after game after game.
So and I've been pretty not impressed with Roca up until the most recent game.
That was not bad.
I thought he played pretty well in that match. And maybe I've just been hard on him prior to that, but the previous games, the friendly and the first game, were not that impressive in my mind.
It's just in comparison to Adams, who seems like he's everywhere, and then you're like, where the fuck's Roca? Where is he in this game? I've heard his name once, But last game against Southampton, much better. Much better.
Yep.
Even though the 2 goals, that wasn't good. And that is on Roca and Adams because they're supposed to be covering that back 4, and they did not. Not for those 2 goals they did. All right, let's get. But they were tired as fuck. That's the point, right? They were tired. Take 2. Fulham's chances of staying up this season are
challenging.
Challenging's a good word. Middling, somewhere around there. I mean, it's going to be a fight to the end.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, Tim Ream's chances of making the flight to Qatar are better. That's my word I'm going to use. Better than they were 2 games ago.
I don't know. They tied Liverpool, and who else did they play? Didn't they tie somebody else? Was somebody else?
Yes. Who was the second game? Shit. They should have actually done better in that game.
Sure.
If they had played like they had played against Liverpool, I think they would have done better. But Tim Ream's chances, I think, are still they exist. Is how
Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
They both scored and they ended up drawing. What was it, 2-2?
I think it was 2-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched too many games.
So
my brain is fried.
Pretty much.
Too many games.
So I mean, they're getting their chances. The draw against Liverpool is massive. If they can keep it up, obviously that's obvious. I hope they can keep it up. Yeah, of course they're going to stay up. But I don't know. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging for sure. But I think that they might stand a chance, assuming that they continue their form really from last year.
Yeah, it's a good start. I'll say that much. By the way, tonight
it was 0-0, I guess, against Wolves.
Oh, that's right. No, that was a boring game. Tonight's beer of the night is Spencer, which is actually an American company that makes Belgian Trappist ales. And this is a Trappist ale. It is 9% alcohol. Holy, yes, my kind of beer. I'll even take above 9% too. So we'll see how this tastes. I have a Spencer beer glass. It's a nice one too. It's going to be great. I had and 3 different beers came with this package that I bought for $20, including 2 glasses, which is nice. All right, so Fulham has a better chance of staying up than Ream has of being Qatar. I'd agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I hope I hope that Berhalter is paying attention. I hope he watched that Liverpool game. Ream deserves that much. I mean, he might have watched the Liverpool game to watch Jedi and then went, holy fuck. But Tim Ream's pretty good too. Nope.
No orange drink?
I had vodka with cranberry and Canada Dry, the 0 sugar version, earlier. But now I am moving on to a nice, fine, more expensive thing.
I bring out my fine china too when I drink my crappy vodka with 7-Up, or in this case, generic sugar-free lemon lime drink.
Spencer. I've never heard of this beer company.
Me not ever again.
This one's not so good. I did their quad last night. It was good. This one, it's kind of a limp dick. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong.
You're supposed to drink like all European beers room temperature.
Compared to a lot of other actual real Belgian ales, and compared to Le Fin du Mont, for instance, which is made in Canada, this is nowhere up there. It's nowhere up there. So Spencer, pass on this particular color of the beers. There's 3 of them. They're all different.
Brian's got a savor, man. Not gonna get another one.
I gotta say, when you make a ale, you got to tell me what it is. You can't just say it's a Belgian style Trappist ale and then end it there, because they're quads, they're triples. I mean, and all of these had different alcohol volumes, so they're all different beers and they're all in different colored bottles. But only one of them has an exact description of what the fuck you're drinking, and that's a mistake. That's stupid, and no wonder they're out of business then. That didn't last long. All right, next. Norwich City look like blank so far this season. Well, up until yesterday, I would have said they look like shit because they were dominating games but couldn't figure out how to score, and they're getting hit on the counter. So I would say Norwich City look like, I don't know. They look like they're confused.
It's possible. Maybe they could. Who knows what's going to happen by the end of the season? They could have just started off the season slow. Maybe they're going to find their feet. But the way between all 3 games so far, I would say that they're looking mid-table at best.
And get this, the coach said that Sargent only started the game because Pookie his feet were so swollen that he couldn't get them on his foot. I don't want to hear that. I wanted to hear from the coach. I decided to try something different tonight, and I decided to play Josh Sargent. When I hear
Pookie a break, start Sargent up top.
When I hear, oh, well, Pookie just didn't play because his feet were swollen, I don't like that. That did not go over well with me. I don't want to hear that. You should have said I'm a really smart guy, and I thought tonight was the night to start Sargent.
And it would have been, if he would have flat out stated that would have been, he would have been 100% right.
Yeah.
And he would have looked like a genius in that sense because Sargent came out guns blazing.
Yep. And Regalio's probably right. They've looked like shit so far, and his chances of making the roster are slim. I wish they weren't. But if he just keeps scoring and scoring and scoring, who knows? We'll see. But it's probably not. That's probably not.
All right, hold on. Let me get that one here.
Sargent's head looks big and small at the same time. I think it's because his neck is so long. That's the reason. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, like I said, if Norwich can, obviously, if they continue the route they're going, unless they turn something around, they're going to look mid-table.
Speaking of penises, did you know that the English refer to the 4-2-2-2 as the full penis formation?
I did not know that, but now that I'm thinking about it, it does have that formation.
It does, but it's like almost like a mushroom dick, you know? No one wants that. I mean, if you have one out there, don't take that the wrong way. You couldn't do anything about it. You were born with one.
Isn't that really what the full Monty is? It's just like, like full nudity and everything for guys? Isn't that the full Monty thing is?
No. I wasn't even talking about Monty. I was talking about mushroom dicks. Some people have them. It's okay. You were born with it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. They're weird looking, though. Mushroom dicks. You've never heard that term before?
Yes, I know what you're talking about, but I have no idea what you're talking. Why you're talking about it?
Well, because I was telling you the full penis. If you put a 4-2-2 together.
No. Sorry, no. The when I said it, isn't it, instead of saying the full penis, wouldn't it be called like the full Monty? Isn't that what the whole idea of the full Monty is? That's just a striptease performance by a man.
Yeah.
I was saying it's full nudity for a man, is what I was saying.
Okay.
And you're like, no, I'm talking about mushroom dick, man.
I don't even know why you brought up full Monty.
You're talking about.
I get it now. But at the time, I was like, why is he talking about that? Why is he talking about male strippers? Yes, you will see their cock eventually. But other than that, you hope it's not a mushroom cock. Anyhow, no offense to anybody that has one. You had no choice. You were born with it, and it's okay. Just don't listen to me. All right, next. Ricardo Pepe's season at Augsburg this season will be shite. That's
non-existent.
Percentage chance of going to Qatar, probably 20% at this point. I think it's bad. You might give him
going to rank up and say 65.
Really?
Simply because of Berhalter going with what he feels comfortable with.
That's a good point.
I mean, I could see. Obviously, we see Ferreira, and we talked about this. I pretty much think Ferreira is the only striker that's basically, picked up his ticket for Qatar. But outside that, I don't know if Berhalter is going to just go with who's hot or who knows the system. And Pepe knows the system. He's been in it the entire World Cup qualifying practically.
In his interviews, I mean, he is talking more about. Like, we really don't have a hot 9, and I can't tell you why we don't have one. And I don't know why.
Your system sucks, donkey balls.
And he won't take any responsibility. And I don't know why we don't have any hot 9s, is what he's saying. It's not my fault.
What?
So, All right, next, take 5.
Yeah, that was a quick take.
Well, we better get quicker. It's like 1 hour in. Luca De La Torre's time at Celta Vigo this season could be pain in the ass, is what I'm going to say, because I don't know. He made the bench last game. Not a sniff of the field. Not a sniff. He rode Pine for 90. I hope that is not a trend. I'm not going to panic yet because both of us said we thought he'd get some playing time there. But I hate being wrong, and if I'm wrong, it's going to piss me off. So hopefully that
he'll find the field. He'll find the field at some point. I'm not overly concerned. It may. I mean, it's definitely not going to bode well if he's struggling to get playing time leading into Qatar. But I still think that he's pretty much locked his position in with US in the Central.
Yeah, I hope you're right about that. You know, he tends to be mouthy. You know how Gregg gets sensitive about that shit. So,
well, he's had his chance not to call him up, but he's called him up every time since he's been mouthy. So, I think he's a hard enough worker and he's talented enough that I think he'll find his way onto the pitch, and then hopefully at that point he performs well enough to stay on the pitch.
Just don't like these guys that don't speak Spanish going over to Spain.
Sure.
I don't like our players playing in Spain, period, actually. I don't think that's a good place for our players. I don't think that's working out really good for most people that go there. Didn't work out for Shaq.
I guess the bigger concern here would be we saw what happened when somebody voiced their own opinion. Well, at least allegedly voiced their opinion, saying that they're the best striker on the pitch, and then not seeing the field at all. And then we know Luka's history. Yeah, we know Luka's history as far as just speaking his mind.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I've been doing that all season. I'm not sure why I'm just now getting called in.
He does not stay on the cameraman script. That is not Luca De La Torre. Will Gregg still take him? I agree. He probably will, unless something like really bad happens, like he doesn't play a minute all season.
I don't even know if that's going to be the case.
Really?
Not at this point.
He's going to go, oh, you did a lot of training there at Celta Vigo. Yeah, you haven't played a single minute all season, but I'm taking you anyhow.
I mean, who has not been included in the midfield roster so far the past 2 or 3 windows?
Could he lose
that's going to get called in ahead of him?
Malik Tillman?
But then he's been included.
I know, but this is a 26-man roster. You can't take everybody. Roldan's got to be there to wax everybody's dolphins.
We'll see if that's the case or not. But I know what Berhalter's been saying, but this is the World Cup. You just can't. I mean, and people will sit there and argue, like, oh, it's good to have the vibes guy there, like that. I'm like, nah, man, we need to make sure we have 26 players who are ready to go out on that pitch and perform.
Yeah, it's time to focus. We don't need anybody, who's going to be there just for
McKinney's out there. He's the goof of the team. He'll make everybody happy.
Yeah, I know they don't need Roldan there with his Vaseline to get by. This is ridiculous. All right, next.
I don't think Busio is going to get called in over Luca De La Torre because he doesn't necessarily. I mean, has he been playing? I thought he has had COVID though, hasn't he?
No, he's back. He, Tessman, and Novakovic all started for Venezia in their last game. And guess what? They're in Serie B, and they look just as bad as they did in Serie A. They are fucking horrible, and Busio is not playing well. Out of the 3, I'd say Novakovic has played the best, to be honest with you. Not Tessman, not Busio.
I like Novakovic when he actually played for the U.S. That was just one window. It was a very limited window. And it didn't stand out. He wasn't amazing by any means, but I still liked his performances.
And there are 4 Americans on that team. Patrick Leal, who doesn't play yet, is also on that team.
Playing for the youth teams, isn't he?
He was in the 18. He didn't get to play though. Yeah. He's a little slow. Center midfielder, defensive center midfield. He might get a shot if Tessman and Busio keep stinking it up like this. YouTubers who create fake game highlight vids just to trick people to click on their vids are fucking piles of shit. Douchebags. I mean, give you the example. So
yeah, I would need an example of this.
Championship games. Unlike Premier League games, finding the highlights on fucking YouTube are difficult. So you type in like Middlesbrough and whoever they played, okay? And it's an hour or 2 hours after the game. You think somebody would have popped a highlight video up by now. No. So you got all these schmucks, douches, and dickbags who make these videos that say, Norwich versus whoever highlights video, of the game.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah, and so you click on it. No, it's some fucking dirtbag who's like, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. And then he plays his fucking video game of Middlesbrough or versus Norwich instead of giving you the highlights. Fuck that cocksucker.
There you go.
You fucking goddamn
He's
leech
got it.
ass. What a bunch of fucking douchebags.
Keep a gameplay merchant.
Douchebags. You got to be a 100% desperate ass douchebag to do that. And there wasn't just one of them. There's like a whole crew of them, like many of them. And so you got to go through and then you got to wait like another 8 hours because then that's when the highlights come out. Unlike the Premier League where they come out 2 hours after the game. ESPN Plus usually put highlights of the games they show right. Yes, but the number of games they are playing from the championship, which is where we've got a lot of Americans playing right now, minimal. I got to watch Norwich. I've got to watch one Middlesbrough game. But they only play like maybe a handful of championship games each week. Yeah.
I thought they had all the rights to it all.
I thought they did too, but I have ESPN Plus and I have, ESPN on the Roku. Nope.
Yeah.
They're not there. They just pick a couple games. And when you got a league with, as many teams as that, 2 games out of 11 games, that sucks.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
Josie,
I guess it's all about the numbers, though. How many people are actually watching championship games as a whole?
I'm going to guess a lot more Americans are watching championship English soccer right now because of Hoppy, Stefan, Horvath, DK, who doesn't play, so I guess not him, but
Yeah, but I mean, they're all on different
Sargent.
teams, so you have to pin on that. So, like, say they pull in 1,000 or 2,000 views on a Norwich game. But then they pulled in, say, 700 people watching DK from America. I mean, is it worth the server space to really throw that game up there? I guess
apparently not, because the only team they seem to be playing regularly on ESPN Plus is QPR. Like, okay, I like the history of QPR. I'm all behind that. But every game we got to watch QPR play. Who's on QPR that anybody cares about? All right. Josie Altidore scoring this weekend for Puebla and Liga MX is not a story. He did score, Bandit. False hope. I don't think there's even hope there. I think most people have given up on Josie Altidore. So
still a number of loud posters on there that are saying, "Bring him in, bring him in."
Are there?
On Twitter, yeah, of course.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, let's see.
You can find a fan of just about any player out there saying, "Hey, he should be called in next."
Well, he played 20 more minutes this week, midweek, and didn't score. So there you go. He's back to doing what he usually does. All right.
Sitting the bench in New England?
Sitting the bench for 70 minutes, then coming out and then not scoring. Next take. Joe Scally starting every game for Gladbach so far this season means blank to Gregg Berhalter. Not much. Not much.
Shit.
Next, take 9. We got to start burning through these. Worst Yank team with a Yanks on it. Venezia, Firth, Augsburg, Norwich City, Bielefeld. Venezia is the worst team out of all those teams.
And given the number of Yanks, I mean, the stats alone.
Mm-hmm. Venezia, like Firth is going to do okay in 2 Bundesliga, I think. Augsburg is bad, but they're not as bad as Venezia. Bielefeld's, I don't know if they're going to be that bad. I really don't. As long as they don't play a whole lot of Bello, they're going to be fine this season. And they don't look like they have any intention of starting Bello this season. So they'll be okay. Venezia is definitely the worst team on this list. The worst, stinkiest, rottenest. That thing you left in the back of the refrigerator for like 7 months, and it's rotting and you can't find it, and it's stinking up your whole fridge. That's Venezia.
Yep. We got a number of people. Well, hold on. Here we go. We got a Venezia would destroy Augsburg.
No, they wouldn't. They get destroyed by Augsburg. Augsburg win that game 6-0. Augsburg is ass. They are ass, but they are at least they're a one Bundesliga team. Venezia is a bad Serie B team.
Have you seen Venezia? They a dumpster fire.
They suck. They're awful.
No bueno.
All right, next. Not good enough. Too early to tell. Injury plague. George Bello. Richie Ledesma. Injured.
You've got him pretty much down to a T at this point.
Yeah. I know people are going to like it that like George Bello, but I'm sorry. I called it a long time ago. He's not that good. Richie Ledesma, poor guy, injured a lot. Cole Bassett, it's impossible to say yet about Cole, but I don't think he's...
Guy needs more playing time than just the 5 minutes here, 2 minutes there.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to ever be... If anybody had any hopes he was going to become like a seriously great player, no, he's not. Brian Reynolds, same thing. Nope, sorry. And people are going to say, he's so young. How come you're writing him off? I wrote George Bello off when he was 19. So I'm going to write Brian Reynolds off as well. Listen, he plays at Westerlo. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. He doesn't play at Westerlo. He just rides Pine at a fucking, like, a team that's worse than most MLS teams. Brian Reynolds can't start. You think Vines makes it over Bello? He started hot. It doesn't seem that Berhalter rates Vines. And Vines played again. He went 90 for Antwerp in a 1-1 game versus Istanbul, I think, in the Europa Conference group. So Vines starts every game. He plays a lot of 90 minutes. Yeah. I don't know, but
yeah, I think Vines will make it over Bello. I just don't think we're going to be taking a second left back. If that's answers the question.
It's insane.
I think Vines will get called in before Bello will. I just don't think Vines will get called in, and I think Des is going to be our backup, and we'll have 4 right backs.
Yeah. Odasawi, too early to tell, I think. It looks like he's taking it serious now, but he plays one game and immediately gets benched the next. I mean, I know he had a little hammy thing he was grabbing there. Maybe that was it, but he was in the 18. If guy's injured, you don't put him in the 18. So we'll see what happens and whether or not Bruges plays him, but listen, Odasawi has to be somewhat skilled. He played a handful of games for a Premier League team not last season, the season before.
2 seasons ago, yeah.
Yeah, he can't be that bad. Now, it's going to be about him and his mind. How bad does he want it? Or would he rather be a model, as CF says? Yep.
We got Anthony here saying, how is Cole Bassett the best on the list? That's the problem.
I think
Richie Ledesma is probably better.
Yeah, he's the best player, but maybe Odasawi. Yeah.
Cole Bassett's the best person that's likely to see playing time. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Bello might get more playing time than Cole Bassett, but Bassett's better. I guess we're talking about 2 different positions, of course, but.
And I think Ledesma would get time if he were healthy ever, but he's not ever healthy.
He was getting playing time there pre-season until now, and then he got injured again. I guess
he started the last game.
Yeah,
for PSV where he got injured.
Horrible luck, like I said, he's getting the Stu Holden treatment.
Yep. Next, so take 11.
So unfortunate.
Time for
here goes the topic of the conversation.
All right, it is.
We made it, guys. An hour and 15 minutes in.
Time for a Pulisic to hit the road and leave Chelsea. I think it's just going to, from what I hear, it's just going to be a loan to Newcastle or Man United. Because Chelsea the owners don't want to give up on him. The coach is fine. If he wants to go, he can go. But the coach actually still wants him to stay too. But I don't think he's fighting that hard. But I mean,
I could see Tuchel really wanting him. I mean, the massive amount of playing time he's received so far.
Who was the fucking Everton kid they went after that plays another winger position? That happened yesterday. The rumors all came out that Chelsea were pursuing another winger from Everton. Anyhow, unbelievable. If I'm Pulisic at that point, I'm taking that personally.
Gordon?
Yes, Gordon. I'm taking that fucking personal at this point. Why are you going to go out and get another guy to play my position? Why? And so if I don't know why. I realize that fucking Man United is a dumpster fire. I get it. But get the fuck out of Chelsea for this season. We need him to play before the World Cup. Not just get 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here, maybe 15 there. I just don't. And maybe with this Gordon guy coming in, if he does, now even less time than that. So I don't get it. I mean, if Havertz continues to play like dog shit, maybe he does get more time, but I don't know. I don't know. If I'm Pulisic, I look at Tuchel and I go, I don't know what this guy's going to do with me, but I know if I go to Newcastle or I go to Man United, I'm going to fight for playing time because those guys at Man United are playing like dog shit, and they need some help. So, what makes you think he'll play more somewhere else? I think what I hear about Newcastle is they play a certain way now, and I realize it's a lot of long passes or whatever, but they like to buy players so they could play a different way. And if you get a Pulisic, then you got a guy who's going to create space behind lines. You can suddenly start to play a different way. They've got a lot of money at Newcastle. They're going to go after a lot of big players, and they could probably pay the pretty penny it's going to take Pulisic away from Chelsea, maybe in a permanent deal after the loan. So, but this whole idea. Go ahead.
I was saying my whole thing is just the Tuchel approach. Tuchel play some of the part of the time last year that of his actual playing time, he played him out of position as wingback. He played him up top, sometimes as a false nine or whatever, and then the rest of the time played him out wide in his natural left. And it was just the rotation amount that Tuchel played him at. And then we're seeing the beginning of this season. At this point, I just want him to have a different bit of scenery. He's frustrated. From all the reports I've seen, he's frustrated with the situation.
Yep.
And I don't see Tuchel changing it. Maybe he gives him a couple starts here and there, and then all of a sudden he's back to Brighton Pine getting 5 minutes at the end of the game. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to expect with Tuchel, and that's frustrating.
Yeah, I think, and I hate watching Chelsea games. So if he moved, it would be much easier to watch him play maybe somewhere else, because I just don't like the way they play. I don't like Tuchel's system. It's irritating to me. But I think if you go to Newcastle, you're going to play. You're going to play.
That's what I said here.
They want to play a different way. They want to transform that team into something different. So Pulisic certainly gives you the speed, the quickness to do something different than they're doing right now. And with Man United, well, we know that the manager really likes him. The manager also really likes Des too. But I don't know how long that manager is going to be around. I'm going to suspect at least this season. They're going to kind of let him work that shit out. But, I mean, it looks really bad. I get it. But I still don't think Man U are going to do any worse than mid-table. And I think you get a whole lot more playing time because who's the English left winger? That guy's been awful this season. Also on the English national team. Why is my brain just fry?
For Chelsea?
No, for Man United.
Don't watch them or I mean, I'll recognize the name when somebody mentions it, but I have no idea.
Yeah. Anyhow, he's been playing like way under his projected, trajectory. So, I mean, they got Martial there too, but I think he would find a really solid regular starting Rashford. Thank you. I think he would find more time there. And I think that what they need as well is a fucking guy who's willing to run his ass off and work hard. And that's what you're going to get from Pulisic. I don't think you're seeing that from Man United right now. I think you're seeing a lot of lazy fucks. And it's still... I
forgot they had Sancho as well, yeah.
It's still a big club. I mean, historically, not anymore. But they do have Sancho. So, maybe you get that Dortmund buzz going again, So we'll see. They do need some chemistry changes at Man United. They need some big changes. So I hope Pulisic, if he goes, is not the only one that arrives.
All I can think of Man U was when the coach took over of the rules he was putting in place.
Yes.
For the team, like no drinking.
Yep.
You can only eat whatever the Man United chefs cook you. Stuff like that.
That's
no personal chefs or something like that, I think is what it was.
Yeah, that's not how you endear yourself to a club. That's so typically Dutch, too. Not all Dutch people are like this, not all Dutch managers, but I mean, you think about the Dutch manager that was the manager of Atlanta. His whole team hated him. Hated that guy. And this guy just comes off as really, unlikable. Not in interviews. I think he seems likable, but if that's the first thing that you do when you take over the club is say, you got to eat our food, can't drink beer, can't drink wine, whatever. Don't fucking fuck around with my life. Sit me down and tell me what you need from me, and I'll deliver as a player. Don't try to start ruling my fucking life. Fuck that shit. Al Weinstein, does his injury history worry you when it comes to more PT? Yes, it does. With Pulisic?
I don't know. I can't worry about I can't sit here and worry about what potentially might happen if he gets more playing time. What I can say is if he doesn't get any playing time, or if he gets a 5-minute here and a 10-minute there, that he won't be sharp come November.
Yeah, I just need him to be sharp for the next 2 months. That's all. So when he goes into the World Cup, we're ready to go. If he doesn't play at all, or he's playing bit minutes for Chelsea for the next 2 months, I don't like that in a system, by the way, that looks nothing like Gregg's system. And Tuchel just plays the opposite of Gregg.
I mean, because by that example, I mean, what Adams had a relatively long injury at the beginning of Gregg's tenure. Rain has been out for forever. Maybe none of these players should get playing time. I'm just saying. I can't sit here and worry about a player getting injured in a game by getting playing time at the club level. I can be concerned about him possibly getting injured. But I'm not. That's not a big concern of mine because I'd rather the players just get playing time so they can stay fit and sharp.
Yeah, I'd rather. I mean, the whole idea of like, I'm fine with him playing 5 minutes a game or 10 minutes a game or whatever, because he's not going to get injured. Well, you can still. That's actually a lot of players get injured when they come off and come onto the field because that's when you get injured. You're cold. You're not fully warmed up. You go out there and pull a hammy. I'd rather the guy start and play 70 minutes, honestly. I mean, there's really the risk difference is you're talking about minutes, yes, but injuries are peculiar. They usually happen to guys that are trying to avoid injury and that's their mentality. I want to avoid injury. Then they get injured. So I don't know. We'll see how this works out. All right, that is. Well, I don't have any more except for to say, go to Man United, go to Newcastle for a season. I think it's fine. I think you'll fit.
From Tuchel.
Get away from Tuchel.
Yeah, I bet you Tuchel will just fall in there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Juventus either. I wouldn't even mind send him to fucking Crystal Palace. I don't care. Just anywhere where he's going to play the whole fucking goddamn season. I want him to play. If it's going to be a loan, you can send him anywhere, but just send him someplace where he's going to play in a system that is somewhat, at least, translatable to Berhalter.
At Juve, he'd be playing up against Di Maria and Cuadrado right now.
Yeah, but Di Maria's going to get hurt.
What's this season? Why am I spacing the big Italian winger guy, dude? Not big, but
No. Did we already say that one?
Chiesa, thank you. Thank you. He's still injured. He's going to come back though, and when he does come back, he's going to be more or less guaranteed the left mid spot.
Yeah,
I think Cuadrado's really filling in there for the time being. Although he is a winger by nature, but he's played wing back or just back, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
For Juve for the last couple of years.
Right.
So it's gonna be everybody's got it for me. Chiesa. Yep.
Thank you guys. Our memories they suck. They suck.
The problem is I ran out of drink a long time ago, so my memory sucks from not having enough drink in my system.
Oh, you should have just brought the whole jug in.
Was it the from Beer Fest? E equals MC hammered. They do the guy does an experiment where he takes a bunch of people, get them fucking hammered, teach them something really hard, and then they test them when they're sober, and then when they get drunk again, they always remember it when they're drunk.
Yeah, that's the same thing with weed. If you study for your test and you're high, take the test high.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying go to school high. I'm just saying if that's how you're doing it, you got to be high when you take the test too. And not recommending that for high schoolers, but in college you can do whatever the fuck you want. You're over 18. All right, Anthony.
Pulisic would fit in well with Juve, the way they're playing and everything like that. Just what they expect from their wingers. He would absolutely fit in well.
Yeah, I think it's a little crowded over there, though. That's the issue. But somebody's going to get injured, so maybe he would play. And they got to have a rotation because you can't, wingers are one of those positions where the player gets tired.
Yeah.
Really,
they got all the cup games, they got the league games, they got the Champions League. So
yeah. All right, let's finish the show. Take 12. We've got 2 more after this, I think.
And then we got today's questions too at the end.
Stefan at Burrow so far has been less than enthusiastic. Would be my answer for that one. Less than enthusiastic. I think
he has his moments for sure. He has his faults.
Yes, he had a good save last weekend.
And just in general, though, I feel like maybe we looked at him. He started in Europe, came back to Columbus, and he's back at Europe playing for City. I think maybe we were looking at him in the vacancy of goalkeeper at that time when he was coming through the ranks. Because once Howard retired, at that point we just had Guzan, and you're sitting there going like, "Oh, geez, who's gonna take over?" And then all of a sudden you see this kid, he's doing well at Columbus, etc. And you're like, "Well, maybe this will be the kid." And then he gets this Man City, and I think he just kind of got. I think people's minds, he may have got a little too hyped, a little too glossy, and maybe we weren't necessarily looking at him overall. And then you take a couple seasons where you don't play much. I don't know.
I think we've been saying Matt Turner for a long time.
Yeah.
The 9s in MLS, Ferreira, Vasquez, Abobasi score again. That's
Vasquez.
Vasquez. So I guess it was me. What the hell does it mean? It means that Ferreira's still out of the 3. Gregg's guy.
Yes.
Vasquez will get a ride. Abobasi, I don't think.
Not this cycle. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen, actually. I don't care how many goals he scores. So I just don't think he fits in to Gregg's system at all. So as long as Gregg's the coach, I don't think we see Abobasi again. I don't care.
Once the new cycle starts, I think he may test out some of these higher performing MLSers that aren't necessarily getting a look this late in the cycle.
Abobasi's just a poor man's PFOC. Let's be really honest here.
Sorry, I'm sure he'll still get a look at some point, one way or another. I guarantee it'll happen.
I mean, one of those Gold Cup thingies or the jizz stuff they do during the holiday season. Sure.
Usually it's the other way around one.
One Seltzer. Thanks, Brett. When correcting him, it bothers the hell out of me. Thanks, Brett. When correcting him? What?
It was like the only time I could correct him on a name, and it was because somebody else corrected us on it beforehand. Or it was you, maybe. I don't know. I can't recall who corrected us.
I don't know if that's universal. It's Vasquez is the universal way of saying that. I don't know if they say it differently in Spain. I don't know. But I guess Q's are K's. Excuse me. I just inhaled my spit.
Yeah. I think we covered that basically.
What? Inhaling my own spit?
Yep.
All right, take 13. I'm about to choke to death here. Best vacation resort. A, I Swallow. Come, ski resort. My Anus Massage Resort. These are all real names of places, apparently.
It's Mianis.
No, it is actually called My Anus. I think it was the... It's usually how racists say it.
Usually in a mocking tone, not necessarily just saying his name. It's usually when people say it in a mocking tone.
I hate to say it, but there are people named that in Spain too, so I don't think it's a universal thing. Lots of people named Vasquez in Spain as well. Anyhow, the Dildo Slip and Slide Resort in Saskatchewan. Sounds like fun, though. I like slip and slides. I'm not sure about the dildo part, though.
Is it pronounced dildo or is it like dildo?
No, they do pronounce it dildo in dildo. Dildo, Saskatchewan. Yep, It's a real town. And then, of course, there is Twat Sauna Resort in Scotland. I don't know why I want to go in a sauna. It's smelly. is a twat.
I just love the picture up here.
Yeah,
right there.
People take their photos apparently when they pass this sign, like constantly. It was very easy to find a photo of someone standing next to the twat sign. So, yeah, it's like I'm a twat.
I mean, I would do it.
I'm not getting it.
I would absolutely get. I'd absolutely get a photo of them, post it.
But would you go in a hot sauna with a big smelly twat? That's what I'm asking you. It sounds fishy. Yes, it does. Oh, we're not very nice tonight. Okay. I think that's the last one, isn't it?
We got all of today's questions real quick.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You got to be kidding me. Missing the stream. Get help.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen Chris in here yet.
That's because he's having penis issues, right?
Yeah.
When your stream ain't good. He's missing the stream.
I gotcha.
Yeah. He's having a little, what's that
as long
called?
as you're not crossing them.
What's that called when you can't pee real well? Hasn't happened to me yet.
Urinary tract infection, I guess. Oh.
No. As you get older, you're whatever. You have a hard time peeing. I haven't had that problem yet, but hoping Brett's internet is better. It is. I'd rather have Metronet than have Pulisic go to Man U. Chris, we're just gonna have to disagree on that one. I say go away from Tuchel. Fuck that dude. Josh Sargent, great U.S. men's national team striker, or the greatest U.S. men's national team strike. Seriously, though, how well does Sarge have to do to get back into the convo? You're going to have to score a shitload of goals. Game after game after game after game, and hope that Pookie has a fucking massive hernia and his intestines fall into his nuts. So he has to start every fucking single game.
I think he's gonna not only score goals, but also when Pookie does return after his foot swelling goes down, he has to do well and score goals out wide as well.
You mean when they pull the intestines out of Pookie's balls?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's no way Pulisic goes.
Bad prostate. Just some of the
prostate. Thank you. Like I should know that. My doctors talk about it. How's your prostate? It's fine. Are you peeing fine? Yeah, I'm peeing just fine. You don't have any struggles with that? No, I'm peeing just fine. All right.
I mean, a lot of asparagus. Leave me alone.
What's the other thing? Yeah, asparagus. Oh my God, that makes your pee stink like shit. All right. Oh, and there's no way Pulisic goes to Manchester. I don't know about no way. There is a way. It's just I don't know if he's going to be going or not. Curious if the Aubameyang move impacts him at all. I don't know if that's happening either. If you're Aubameyang, do you really want to go to Manchester United? You're going to be a starter on whatever team you're on right now. And he's going to be a starter on the team he's on right now. Why go to Man United, which is a shit show? Pulisic has to go because he needs playing time. I'm leaning towards a full move for Pulley rather than a loan. I don't think they're going to do anything but a loan. The American owner still thinks Pulisic's the future for Chelsea, and Tuchel is not forever. I don't see how things will be different in a year. Everyone is a liar, so who knows what transfers are real. That is true, Brian. Everyone is a liar.
Take it with your grain of salt, your Twitter grain of salt.
Whether they know they're being liars or not, that's the thing. I mean, the thing about like lying is, as Costanza once said on Seinfeld, it's not a lie if you believe it. All right.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the water was cold.
No, it's not a lie if you believe it. That's what he said, George Costanza. And he's right. If you believe it, it's not a lie to you. You know? All right. You need to read the next one. I'm making myself a drink.
Adam Wiggins says Pulisic to Man U is something I'm split on. I would honestly rather see him at a team like Newcastle or Leeds or Leicester. Anywhere but the train wreck that is Man U these days. Would settle for it, however, if he gets to play.
Yeah, that 100%. Sums it up. That sums it up. That's really good.
Question about Vasquez. Hey. Do you think Gregg will be willing to bring in a player that is completely unfamiliar with the system? That's questionable, but he's done before.
He's going to make the next friendly window. He's going to get.
He kind of has to because again, he's sitting there without a 9, really.
Yep. So, he's going to get 20 minutes there and might even start one of those 2 games.
I would hope so. Regardless of who they bring in, I'm hoping that they will. If they're going to build off chemistry, I'm sure Ferrer is going to be there, and then hopefully Vasquez and Peacock get a look.
Yeah,
and then hopefully they get a lot of playing time, and Ferrer just in there for a half here and a half there type thing.
Yep.
I don't know. Do you have time in September to get him game ready? Do they have time in September to get a game ready?
I would sometimes say no, but I mean, I think Gregg's been in contact with him.
Yeah, he's been in contact, and from what we've heard from other players and stuff that have gotten brought in is that they get homework. They say, "Hey, watch these clips, do this, start paying attention to this because this is what you're going to be doing." So I'm sure if he's going to be there September, I'm sure he's going to get the rundown on a PDF, maybe a nice PowerPoint. Some videos thrown up there, and then he comes in. He's supposed to understand the system and gets thrown into the wake. Hopefully, not a field like we played. What was who played with that? Haji played against? Was it El Salvador?
Yeah, in the mud.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's not going to be a game like that, but it's going to be in Dusseldorf, and I don't know where the second game is going to be at.
Well, like Haji Wright, Vasquez played a lot of games in the youth system with a lot of these players. So he's going to be familiar with a lot of these guys.
Yeah, but so did Haji, though.
Yeah, but Haji didn't get a real chance. I think next window, I think that Vasquez is going to get a real chance. And I think he's going to get that 20 minutes. He's going to have to make the best of it. And if he doesn't, then we're back to plan C, which is, again, we got to go back to Pepe. We got to go back to thinking about maybe Sargent or whomever. Hopefully this decision on the 9 gets easier as we get closer to the World Cup. But right now it's a fuck fest. It's a mess. It's an orgy. It's a sausage fest and one chick. This is a mess. And, it needs to get fixed.
Come right back, Al, real quick. Haji should deserve a real chance on a real field. And I also feel bad for the guy.
Yep.
All right.
Think Norwich. Go ahead. I think Norwich. Al again. Part of the tribe, I'm guessing. I think Norwich would have to make a financial poor move to not give Sargent a run of games at the 9. Pookie is not the future. I would agree with you, but I think that Pookie has been like this big hero at that club for so long. It's going to be really hard to dislodge him if his intestines are not in his testicles.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things where he could come in, play a couple games, Sargent play out wide, maybe get come off the bench on a couple games, but then Pookie gets benched a couple games and let Sargent keep going. And they keep rotating around that way to try to keep their center forwards fresh. Ready to roll.
If they played a 4-4-2, that solves the problem right there.
Problem solved, yeah. And I stated the best games last year in the Premier League is when they played with 2 strikers. No, at that time it was generally Pookie and I think it was is it Ida? Ida?
Yeah.
Is he injured or did he get traded off?
I thought he got traded.
I haven't seen him this season.
I thought he got traded. We'd have to look that up
later. That's a future us problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Markeloff. Did you guys get a chance to see Boro play? What do you guys think of Zach's form and his level now?
We kind of already covered that. It's meh.
We got to see the minute from Hoppy playing, or was that previous week?
That was the previous game. Yeah.
We already got that.
He didn't play at all this week, midweek, at all.
Okay.
0 minutes.
All right. That was a short question segment for us.
Thank God is all I got to say. All right,
He's
guys.
only saying thank God because we've been on this for an hour and 40 minutes, guys. Not that he doesn't want to answer your questions.
No, I don't mind answering questions, but maybe an hour 40 of your questions is probably too long. But we did 2 batches, so that made it longer than usual. I just want to make sure everybody likes, subscribe, share it with your grandma. Hit the bell. I heard that helps. Whatever that ding, hit the bell. And we will be back. And we can't wait for the World Cup to come. I think things are just going to blow up. It's going to be just exciting as shit. So I'm looking forward to that. I like my new place. I'm happy to be settled in here near the Fishers Indy border on 96th Street. I just come back from injury. We knew something must be going on because he's not in the picture. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card, share it with your grandma.
teammates.
Yeah, we're teammates.
I'm a good chef.
Ooh, that's sick.
We make good.
Oh my god. Yeah, you gotta cook for me. Damn. Bro, I just can't do it. This is tough, bro. I gotta say video games, bro. That's bad.
How about your family?
I mean, yeah. Just because the way that I was living in Australia, bro, I didn't know anybody there, so yeah, bro.
I have so many.
Bro, I just don't even notice her. Like, I just kind of grab it. Bro, this is hard. I'd probably say him. I mean.
Good work. You're off. Oh, no.